It's a beautiful day for the beautiful game in Orange County for a matchup of teams outside their divisions tonight. Orange County SC and Rio Grande Valley FC. Tonight's game presented to you by Hogue. With Eric Krakauer, I'm Dave Lamont. Welcome to Championship Soccer Stadium in the OC. And what's fun about this game, Eric, is we're looking at a Pacific Division side and a Mountain Division side. And let's begin with the Pacific Division. And there you see Orange County SC kind of on the comeback trail a little bit after what happened against San Diego.
Yeah, and missing out on a big opportunity to actually leapfrog Phoenix Rising at the top of the standings with their loss to San Diego, which was a painful one considering the fact that they had a one-man advantage for a lot of that game as well as a one-goal advantage to begin with.
And OC have been doing very well prior to this match. They get a red card advantage and immediately go up 1-0, and you think, all right, we have the man advantage, we're rolling good. But instead, it was their only loss in the last 5 matches.
Wonderful ball into Markin, and he slots it away, but then defensive woes, and that allows San Diego back into it, and they claim all 3 points, but not the best defending. A little bit of the luck of the bounce for San Diego.
So what's going on in the Mountain Division? RGV is known as the team that finally slowed down that El Paso locomotive, but they're stumbling just a little bit. That's been their best result, Eric, in the last month.
Well, and just like their opponents tonight, an opportunity missed to go into first place. They were the only team this season to beat El Paso, but drawing in Texas. A huge opportunity to make a statement today and go top, at least provisionally.
And, of course, with RGV, the victory over El Paso is one of the ones that everybody in the USL noticed.
Oh, absolutely. It was a great game, everything coming together, good finishing. Question marks about the defensive efforts there, but very important 3 points and the kind of win that makes everybody else, all your opponents, look in awe.
So 2 wins in the last 5 matches. Eric, you went right to the point on our keys to the game presented by Easy Fleet GPS, keeping your fleet on track.
Well, for Orange County, it's about the defensive efforts. They've got the 4th best defense in the league, just 11 goals conceded, playing on home soil for the first time in a couple of games, so they'll want to play at their best. As for the Toros, they don't play particularly well away from home, so they'll have to compete and make sure that they match the nasty OC in terms of effort.
What a glorious night at a beautiful facility. 2 teams, identical records, different divisions. Is someone going to walk out of here with a 7th win? And we will find out.
Classic Game Time. The best games from the past season on your view.
Time for a look at tonight's injury report. Presented by Whiteboard Risk and Insurance Solutions. Start expecting more from your insurance broker. And RGV comes out pretty healthy with just Lopez out. But not only does OC have players injured, Eric, they are missing a key player on their attack. Their leading scorer is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah, Ronaldo Damus with 6 goals this season playing in the Gold Cup. So he is a big absence.
So the question obviously is, how do you adjust with your Orange County without him?
Well, you rely on Markkanen up top, the guy who scored in the last game against San Diego. Unfortunately for Orange County, that was in a losing effort, and they did have a one-man advantage. But Orozco and Kiernan, for me, key players today for one of the best defensive sides in the league.
And, of course, for RGV, the goalkeeper who saved every minute is Tyler Derrick, and what's in front of him?
Well, we got a couple of really good players up top. Sanchez, 41 years old. This is his last season as a pro, somebody who's played in a couple of Copa Americas for the Uruguayan national team, and alongside him, Cristian Sordo, who has 2 goals this season.
And we are underway. Ideal conditions. Temperature is 79 degrees, humidity just in the mid-50s. Wind not a factor. It's just a perfect evening for the athletes for these two sides.
Yeah, this is perfect soccer weather, and considering that these are 2 of the 4 best teams in the Western Conference, I expect a very good game.
Do you expect high scoring, or do you expect something a little more conservative?
Now you're just asking me questions I can't answer, Dave.
That's my job.
Let's hope for something entertaining.
No, that can be at anything. I've seen games without a goal that were highly entertaining. So we're looking forward to seeing the result of all of this, and the conditions could not be better. A perfect grass surface. They watered that about an hour and a half before the game. Toros in the white kits. And you get a good look at Carter Manley for Wilbur Cabrera, one of the most respected names in the sport in coaching. And, of course, Braden Cloutier for Orange County SC, who's team in the middle of a streak of 3 games in a week. So he's had to order up extra ice and extra rest for his side. As a matter of fact, Raymond Dry, number 26 in the orange, making his professional debut as a starter. He has just played 64 minutes prior to tonight's match and 5 games off the bench. But he gets the nod tonight from Cloutier.
2 17-year-olds in the lineup for the side.
An early opportunity in the back of the net is found. That's Azokar. And RGV takes a hole in the defense and makes Orange County pay.
Oh, that's a brilliant play down the left side. An overload. Excellent combination. And completely unmarked. Azokar with the finish, the second in 2 consecutive games. But look at that ball into Kuzain. Right into the penalty spot, and he hits it well, doesn't he? Makes absolutely no mistake. He is a man in form, and there's absolutely nothing that Rakowski can do about that one.
Juan Carlos Azokar's 3rd goal of the year, and you saw Kuzain. He'll get the assist. That will be his 1st of the season to go along with 3 goals. And like that, before some folks have even finished their time at the concession stands, the home team is down 1-0.
And Dave, we talked at the beginning of the game at the top of the broadcast about what Rio Grande Valley would have to do today. And one of the keys to the game was compete. And what was meant by that is that on the road, they've had their woes, and they would have to match the physicality and the intensity of this home side. Orange County, rather, who are playing at home for the first time in a couple of games in front of their own fans.
They got their, we'll see how they respond. I'm always interested when a team gives up a goal early, how they handle it. Do they bounce back quickly, or are they kind of staggering around like they took a punch to the jaw and they can't find their legs just yet? It'll be interesting to see how they react.
Orange County has played a lot of games away from home, but their record at home is a good one as well. And this is a team that is competing with Phoenix Rising for a top spot in their division.
And Olaski looking for the big man there. Markkanen, who stands at 6'6". Might have heard of his brother. He's in the NBA right now with the Chicago Bulls.
He could probably play in the NBA as well at that size.
Yep, he's got the skills. Looking for him right now. And OC pressing. Olaski thought about a strike. And maybe a bit of a miscommunication and a missed strike there. So it'll be an opportunity here for a goal kick for Tyler Derrick, his 13th start. And RGV played 13 games. He has given up 13 goals.
Olaski was asking for a little bit too much from Dre to try and cut into that left side half space. But good reaction so far from OC, trying to string the ball together.
Well, that's a beautiful long ball. Down the left side they go. And more pressure. Azakar, and nobody there in white, so an easy play for Patrick Rakowski. He's been alternating with Romero in goal, and this is Rakowski's 8th appearance of the season in goal. So Azakar in the 2nd minute gets his 3rd goal of the season on a beautiful left-footed strike.
On loan from Deportivo La Guaira, who started this campaign playing in the famed Copa Libertadores. Although the club does have an option to make his stay permanent.
One more pressure coming here. This is Sorto. And handled easily by Rakowski as he distributes. And now Orange County will try to counter what's been a pretty heavy offensive so far from the Toros. To Carter Manley, who has a goal on the year. Lopez trying to get to Sorto again. Can't quite clear it out. Opportunity here for Azakar, who just scored a few moments ago. He heads the pass off. That brings Manley down from his position.
Well, he thought about pulling the trigger, didn't he? And then headed it into the path of Sanchez, who's peeling away.
RGV in control in the early going. Sorto, you see Azakar again hovering around the 18, looking for service. It's rejected. And that will be a goal kick coming up. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Our referee, by the way, Ricardo Fierro. We haven't heard from him yet, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's been end-to-end, very open, with the Toros really focusing on that left side.
Well, we're going to hear from him now.
Yeah, that's right. You asked for it on cue.
Wow, just like that, the first caution of the game, and understandable for a very heavy tackle. And that's Dre, who can now say that in his first start, he got a caution.
Yeah, it was a rash challenge. I believe he goes through Pimentel.
And you're right about that. He literally went through him.
Yeah. Well, those challenges from behind, even if you have a pretty good side of the ball, overwhelmingly going to be called fouls. And Pimentel will limp away. One of the most experienced players on this white and blue jersey team. And you can see that his ankle gets caught.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to run that off, and it won't bother him later in the match. And all of a sudden now a chance perhaps here for Orange County. Can you center it to help? No. It'll be Manley who sweeps it out of there.
It was Dre looking for that redemptive assist after the yellow card, but
he's got to be excited as all get out, though, right? His first opportunity. It's almost understandable why he just kept going. I don't think there's anything malicious about it. Good look there at Brent Richards on the throw-in.
The top assist man for Orange County this season.
He has 4. Got a good arm and an opportunity on the header from Kiernan, and the save made by Tyler Derrick, and just like that, he gets RGV going. Azakar, some skill there. Excellent. My goodness, wow. Look at this run by Azakar. Still going. Tries to dump it off to help, and a professional tackle there, but not cleared completely away.
Yeah, full of razzle and dazzle with the devil in his boots, and that was an excellent slalom through a few defenders, but also pressing from the front. So He's not just working with the ball at his feet. You can see that Orange County are having a little bit of trouble defensively.
Well, Wilbur Cabrera has decided press, press, press seems to be the early strategy here. Smith worked it around to Calvillo. And his long pass is intercepted. He'll get there, but can't get rid of Sorto. Sorto on another run. Down the left side, has Azokar, has help. And it's misplayed that time by Sanchez.
Sorto rushed the pass a little bit. He had options. Had he just taken a pause and picked up his head, he would have seen that Azokar was actually making a run on the blind side. Missed opportunity.
Very much so. Mccabe over to Olaski. And he just ran into a wall there. Azokar right now dominating the match in the middle of the pitch.
Well, he's also a physical presence. Forget about the fact that he's got really good feet. Hard to dispossess a player who's that size.
It looked like they were trying to work a little combo with Sorto, but he took a tumble. And Orange County gets a chance to reset and perhaps get a build-up here.
And I know that we saw in the graphic at the top of the broadcast that the Toros were playing with a 3 center back system, but it does look like it's Pimentel and Albuquerque playing as the center backs with Vera on the left and Manley on the right. 4-3-3 it seems for the away side. And a rather fluid attacking front three with Sorto playing on the left, Sanchez in the middle, and Azokar helping out on the right.
So that collision was not why the whistle blew. There was a whistle prior to that. Let's see who the referee ruled in favor of. It looks like it's going to be the visiting Toros. There had already been a call, though, prior to that contact. And yeah, it's going to be RGV ball here.
Pimentel was giving Dre a little bit of a payback for the previous challenge. And that is dangerous from Rakovsky.
Orange County has only had 1 or 2 little chances here, but nothing significant. RGV seems like has put the vice on them almost from the beginning when Azokar scored in minute number 2 off the assist from Juan Kuzain.
Well, they've pushed up their lines when defending. They're pressing Orange County, preventing them from playing out of the back, and that is making it very difficult for any of the ball carriers to find passing options so far. And that is left Markkanen an isolated figure, and a frustrated one at that.
And an easy one to spot at 6'6", number 9 in the orange and black. #24, Nathan Smith, switch to the far side. Ball one in the air, but controlled by the visitors, the Toros. There is Sorto, number 20, in white. Almost dangerously misplayed. Markkanen nearly had an opportunity there. And it'll start with number 13, Tommy Mccabe.
Trying to slow down the pace of the game right now, Orange County. Trying to get into a rhythm. You saw Michael Orozco have to play the ball long because he didn't have any options ahead of him. Here he is, former Gold Cup winner in the United States back in 2013.
Playing the long ball game, and that's going to end up being a throw-in for Orange County. And very quickly put into play, but handled by Pimentel.
Well, curiously enough, they've been their most dangerous when Brent Richards has been putting the ball back into play from a throw-in.
He's got a very powerful throw-in. He gets a tremendous amount of distance on that. Just good as I've seen from anybody this season. Tried to give and go to market and didn't quite work. Ambitious, but not perfectly executed.
But you can see that out of all the Orange County players, it's Tommy Mccabe who's really trying to keep the ball on the turf, trying to get it moving.
He goes again. Now laid off to Smith. Smith centering. Couldn't get it to Markkanen, who was crashing, who was just a little bit behind, and a very strong centering pass.
Well, he knows as well that he's got options, but hardly picked up his head when he played that cross in. More in hope than expectation.
Olaski lost control of it, playing the long ball to no one.
He's the guy they have to get the ball to, Olaski. He's the playmaker in between the lines. That's why he has number 10 on his back. One of 3 brothers playing in the USL.
Long ball, not going to be very effective at all, and an opportunity here and a throw-in for RGV. By the way, that prior yellow card was brought to us by Easy Fleet GPS, keeping your fleet on track. The yellow card against Orange County's Raymond Dry. Well, good things come in 4s, right? 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 drinks, all for $49 all season long. That's right, the family 4-pack is back, and there is no better deal to enjoy world-class soccer, family fun, and more. Get your 4-pack right now at orangecountysoccer.com/4-pack. orangecountysoccer.com/4-pack. Eric Krakauer, Dave Lamont. RGV getting the 3rd goal of the season from the Venezuelan Juan Carlos Azacar. Off the assist from Kuzain in minute number 2, and that's where we stand right now.
Have you paid for one of those 4-packs yet?
I haven't, but I don't see why not. That's a nice deal.
And the weather's perfect. It's been a good game. That's all we're lacking right now.
But this is, in fact, it's really kind of funny. There's an article in the 18.com that came out a couple of days ago. It talked about the best smaller soccer venues in the United States, and both these teams had their parks mentioned. HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas, where RGV plays, and right here, Championship Soccer Stadium, listed as among the very nicest for the fans, and this is a gorgeous location. The ability to build a stadium and still keep some of the nature around there, to me, is really striking.
Yeah, not a bad seat in the house. You're not going to get better soccer infrastructure pretty much anywhere in the world.
5,000 seats. No way there's a bad one. And yeah, the weather doesn't hurt either.
And worth adding that by that I meant the United States. Small stadiums, big stadiums. Considering the growth of the game and the never-ending addition of soccer-specific stadiums, this is the place to be.
The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forward-forever-proud. So Eric, what's missing from this Orange County attack right now?
Well, one thing that they've done well is that they weathered that early storm. They've slowed the game down. The Toros were a lot faster. They were zipping the ball about. You'll see that.
That's dangerous right there. A press from Sanchez. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, but calm and collected Rakowski. A player with his experience, a goalkeeper with his experience. That's bread and butter stuff. But you can see that every time Orange County get the ball, they slow it down. They're looking to improve their movement, and they've taken the sting out of the Toro's tail for now. All they're missing is linking up with the big boy up top, and that's something we've already mentioned.
That's the number 9, Eero Markkanen, who is the de facto leading goal scorer for Orange County. with your real leading goal scorer unavailable on Gold Cup duty. Tournament going on at the home of Inter Miami CF in Fort Lauderdale. Back the other way, and Sanchez leads the break. Interrupted and lost control. Mccabe got in his way that time.
But that's one of the risks right there that Orange County can run into. They push up their lines in possession. They're trying to play small ball, but if they cough up the ball in transition, the Toros have proven that they can do some damage. Fortunately for them, Vicente Sanchez wasn't able to connect the dots.
Trying to play the long game again, that time with Dry. Tremendous at work that time there by Kobe Henry, managing the header, then getting it back, but it's going to return to the Toros.
I really like the performance from Christian Sorto early in this game.
Good touch there, almost from Markkanen, but even with those long legs, he couldn't quite get around Pimentel.
But again, it's just not a clean pass, is it?
No, no. He hasn't had a clean opportunity yet.
No, just fighting for scraps right now. Chasing a lot of lost causes.
Well, that was a great ball to Sorto. Looks like he might have been out of play along the sideline, though, at one point. And well, that kind of sums up the way things have gone at time. Trying Mccabe and Smith trying to hook up. Smith cut one way, the ball went the other.
But you notice how Brian Olaski now is coming deeper to retrieve the ball because he's just not finding pockets of space in the attacking third. And as I mentioned before, he's the guy who's going to be pulling the strings in the attacking third. So that's a good sign for the Toros if the best playmaker for your opponent is moving very deep or into a deeper position. That relieves the defensive duties of those two center backs who won't chase him that deep.
Well, a chance here. You take a good look at Vicente Sanchez and the captain's armband, the veteran that Eric mentioned, and you saw Kobe Henry with the foul there. Big age gap between those two.
Yep. And for anybody who watches Liga MX, or MX as you say here in Mexico, he is a Toluca legend, one of the top scorers in club history.
Launched into traffic. And that little effort's going to be a little bit too high and out of play by Sanchez. He just could not get a clean blast for the left foot.
That wasn't a bad ball, but good defending from Rob Kiernan to cut the play out. I believe it was the Irishman. It was indeed. And that sat up nicely for Sanchez. Just slices through the ball.
And Kiernan quickly back to his keeper. Well, he didn't get enough on that, but barely got enough on that. Boy, for a second I thought he had turned that over.
He'll tell you he measured that one perfectly.
Yes, exactly how he meant to do it. Why are you questioning me?
But once again, you saw what the Toros were doing for the last 5 or 10 minutes. They were sitting back, absorbing a little bit of pressure, and now they're pressing high again and making it difficult for OC to try and zip the ball around, link up their passes. Frustrating afternoon so far for the home side.
Trying to get it to Markkanen. He was not able to make Lopez. Right now, Orange County just one shot on target. The Toros just one shot on target. Theirs went in. 2 shots total. Only 3 shots total in the game. Possession, strangely enough, dominated by OC. 64 to 36%.
Right, but the ball is always in their defensive third.
Yep.
So they're not threatening at all, and that will be just fine for RGV.
One caution so far. Raymond Dre, I should say, in his first start. Got hit with a caution early on.
Those early goals really condition the game, because what they do is they put the onus of attacking on the team that's behind, and the team that's ahead can just react and adjust accordingly.
No marketing off the turnover. But RGV got back very quickly, and Orange County now trying to find a gap. Olaski was trying to work through the white shirts and couldn't do it. Cabezas gets rid of it to Christian Sorto. Sorto's got some help if he wants it, and he's going to get a throw-in out of this, I believe. Yes, he will.
And you're absolutely correct. It took too long for Olaski to make up his mind. He had an overlap on the right. He cuts inside, but everybody got back very, very quickly for the Toros. You actually saw that Markkanen also had time on the ball when he got that poor back pass. Intercepted possession, but he doesn't have the pace, so he has to look for an outlet and get into a better position.
Good little touch there. Olaski has it back. We'll go and restart it. Look at the captain, Orozco. And again, the pressure coming from RGV. Playing the long game, but ineffectively.
You know, curiously, every time that Orange County go long, they're looking for the runners. So they're looking for Raymond Dre on the right. Very seldom do they pick out Markkanen, who's the guy who could probably hold up the ball and wait for teammates to move up the field.
Middle of the field open a little bit here for RGV. Already in front 1-0. Manley. But there's a good example of what you talked about. They're in control of this game. The numbers say the possession clearly favors Orange County, but the scoreboard says otherwise. And
well, it's not how much of the ball you have, it's what you do with it. And I know it's a cliche, but it rings true very often.
Crowd trying to get into it a little bit here and perhaps inspire the home side, and maybe something will happen here. Dropped off for Smith. Good give and go. This is Brian Olaski. Looking for Markkanen or some help. Mccabe. Markkanen kind of posted up just outside the 18, but nothing there.
And again, it's a strange decision on the part of Olaski, because we talked about Markkanen's size. He's taller than both the center backs, and he had quite a bit of room to attack the ball if it was crossed in the right position.
Mccabe trying to chip it to where Dre is, but it's going to go back to the keeper, Derek, but kept in by Orange County. Markkanen tried to touch it to a teammate, and it didn't work, and we could have a counterpunch going on right now. Kuzain got Azukar in the middle and has Sanchez running there as well. Azukar. And that didn't quite work out. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication. Sorto was the intended target for that last pass.
Had to be a lot better ball from Kuzain, because Azukar was wide open on the right. Nobody near him.
Has some nifty footwork here. Centering pass. Calvillo.
He's got to hit this one.
He will. Keeper's got to come get that. Ooh, that was a hard fall for Tyler Derrick, and also there is an Orange County player slow to get up.
Yeah, and that should be a yellow card, because he's swinging and missing, but this is a very good hit from Calvillo. Good save. Routine, though, from Derek. And then over here, he picks up an easy ball. Oh, I thought he'd taken a swing, Dre. He didn't, in fact.
No, he kind of stuck his head in there.
Yep.
Yeah, but the last thing he needs is another yellow.
Yeah, but there's nothing he can do about that.
No.
He can't move out of the way.
That is the best shot on goal for Orange County so far, was that strike by Calvillo.
Yeah, he rifles it with some venom, but again, it's an easy save for somebody with the experience of Derek.
The United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. While we wait for the training staff to finish with Raymond Dre, let's go back to the second minute of the match, Eric, and beautiful goal by Azakar.
Yeah, it's a really good ball into the penalty spot. Azakar attacking from the weak side and just hits it with the instep. Doesn't need to overpower it. He uses the momentum of the ball, and Rakovsky hardly has time to blink.
Kuzain picked up his first assist. So young Dre will be waved off, and hopefully will be back on very shortly. He may have taken a little hit to the head there in that collision with Derek. No cautions, no anything. It's just a part of the game. You see Roberto Albuquerque having a conversation with his keeper. Coming up at halftime, of course, we'll have the very latest on what's been happening around the USL with Devin's Dish, and we'll review this first half. It looks like that Dre will not be continuing in the match. So we're expecting a substitution. So unfortunately, his first start doesn't get to halftime.
No, he seemed to take that knock.
He's back out there, but we are expecting a sub.
Derek slammed his hip right into the head of young Dre. And whether that has anything to do with the switch or it's tactical, since he hasn't had the best displays, I don't think it's any fault of his own. He just can't get it going in the attacking third.
So now we understand that the substitution is kind of hanging in midair. I guess that was as much cautionary, Eric, as anything else. And Dre is back out on the pitch, and if you're going to see how he performs and how he moves around here. Manley ships a dangerous centering ball. Sordo is in the area, and Rakovsky comes down with it.
Once you're that close to the byline, better to just hit it with power, rifle it into the box. Once you put it in the air that close to Rakovsky, that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a goalkeeper.
OCSC is proud to partner with UHSM as the exclusive naming rights partner of the Community Corner program, which donates up to 100 tickets per home match to local nonprofits serving the community. Nonprofits are invited to apply for tickets today by visiting orangecountysoccer.com/community corner. A Mountain and Pacific Division matchup. A rare visit outside the own divisions for these two squads, both of them in second place. RGV coming off a 1-1 draw with Austin Bold. And OC coming off a 2-1 loss to San Diego Loyal, where OC actually had a man advantage and a 1-goal advantage, but credit San Diego for picking up 2 late in the game and picking up a surprising 3 points given the circumstances.
And you mentioned before how the Toros had a big win against El Paso, which made everybody stand up and take notice. This would be another significant win when hostile territory. Once again, no time on the ball for Brian Olaski. Every time he gets close to marking, Rodrigo Lopez is shadowing him.
Now OC forces a turnover there.
Excellent turn from Sorto.
Well, we're going to play on. And now, just grabbing and drawing a card is Nathan Smith. And an obvious yellow card against Smith, who just simply grabbed Kuzain.
Yeah, just cynical.
I don't know, was he mad about something, do you think? Because there had been a couple of plays that happened before that each side could complain they didn't get a call.
Well, you played at the whistle, but in this situation, if Kuzain gets away, they have a numerical advantage in the attack. So that one there is just one of those professional fouls.
So second caution against OC. And again, the yellow card brought to you by Easy Fleet GPS, keeping your fleet on track. If we were in the NBA, that'd be a clear path foul. Albuquerque lays it off, gets it back. Sorto was clever with it, but didn't have anybody around. He's looking at Azakar like, well, how come you didn't get that?
Yeah, why didn't he make the run? And I think there's a point there. It was a difficult ball for him to bring down. He's closely covered by a defender. Just wants to hit it into space where one of his teammates can run into. But he's been everywhere. Industrious.
Oh, and Smith ran into Lopez, and Lopez will be hit with a foul.
Well, it was a high boot, but I don't know how much contact there was. Dangerous play in the end. Smith does well to protect the ball, to shield it with his body, turning away from Rodrigo Lopez.
Earlier today in a Western Conference tilt, you had San Antonio beating Colorado. Springs 3-2 today. That was a ESPN2 affair. And this is another matchup that I think Eric is dead on to say that everyone around the league, especially in the Mountain and Pacific time zones, paying attention to this one.
You just saw on that play, Olaski plays it to Brent Richards, and then everybody converges in the box. Nobody making a run down the half space. Nobody trying to collapse that back line for the Toros. It's just not been dynamic enough running off the ball for the home side. And in that situation, they had a lot of numbers forward.
We have Phoenix and Los Dos tonight. Vegas and El Paso tonight. Other games out west. And Salt Lake and Austin Bowl, the Real Monarchs, will be tomorrow. Opportunity, this is Sorto. He's got some trailers and it didn't quite work out. You see the frustration by Kuzain, who was unmarked. For the W, starting next spring, the USLW League providing increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer both on and off the pitch. Comprised of clubs from across the championship, League One, League Two, and new expansion markets. The W League is set to begin play in more than 30 communities across the United States. Head over to USLWleague.com to learn more. One interesting from the Atlantic Division is Tampa Bay getting whipped in Miami 2-0. Good shot with the header and right at the feet of Rakowski. Beautiful opportunity, though, again for RGV and Sanchez.
Oh, what a ball that was from Azokar. But defensively, what is happening with Orange County? So much time to bring the ball down, 2 players, and then to pick out a target in the box. Just very lethargic right now.
What a good give and go here. This is Kuzain. He's got troops. Sanchez. It's a blast that's going to go into the stands.
And threatening once again as we look at the replay here. Look how much time Azokar has to pick up his head and pinpoint that cross. And, you know, that's not really Vicente Sanchez's game. He's a wide man who's playing as a false 9 of sorts today. The ball was a little high. Couldn't get enough power, enough snap of the neck. But so far, it's inarguable that the Toros have looked like the more threatening side and the one that is more likely to score a second goal here today.
Both these teams have an identical number of goals. Their records are the same. It's been really interesting how they've had these parallel seasons. Now they meet, and so far RGV has been the better side.
You just look at how much time the back line for Toros have on the ball when they're building out of the back. The pressure is very, very light. And even when they push men forward to try and intercept those balls, it's not done with a lot of gusto.
Oh, that was nearly dangerous. Had that worked, Lopez was going to be unmarked and wide open.
But now this is a chance to work in transition. A little bit better now from Orange County.
And Marketing comes out to help out. Now Smith. That's Olaski.
Nobody running into the half space. This team that is relying on wide play. Their assist leaders are players who play on the flanks, and you can see that that's the type of game that Orange County plays.
So Brent Richards. See how much steam he can get on this. A lot.
He sent that ball into orbit as well.
Yep. Tried to get it to Marketing, but he was, pardon the expression, marked by Cabezas, a Colombian player.
You did see in that previous play that Markkanen was used properly, you know, as an attacking pivot. Give the ball to him as he checks in between the lines, and then he moves into space. The problem, once again, and apologies if I'm repeating myself, but once the ball goes back into the midfield, everybody rushes into the box. Nobody making a diagonal run to try and pull defenders out of place.
Oh, here's a chance. Mccabe. As they work the perimeter. Nice move there by Olaski to run that ball down into Market, and he turns. His shot is blocked. He had no room, really. The second he turned, there was a white kit right in his jaw.
That was a little bit better. Intricate football being played, intricate soccer. And then the less said about that pass, the better.
Still, if you're Orange County, it is, after all, only 1-0. Azokar. Sanchez. He'll go wide. And that will not work out, but yet it will work out because it's a corner kick presented by Corner Bakery. And this is, believe it or not, the first corner of the match.
He's been hard to mark, Vicente Sanchez, because he doesn't really have a specific position. He's just running everywhere. For the most part, Rob Kiernan and Michael Orozco are chasing shadows because there's no target man near them. Hard for center backs to decide exactly where to go when they're defending if they don't have forwards around them.
Lopez into the box, sharply headed off the line. And a throw-in coming up for OC. Should not, we probably get a minute, 2 minutes stoppage time. We did have Dre taken care of by the athletic trainer, and he has stayed in. There was some talk of him not finishing the match, but he has stayed in at least for the remainder of the half after taking a bit of a bump. Perhaps one last good thrust here for Orange County.
Good challenge.
Richards, a tremendous challenge that time by Vera. One minute of stoppage time added. Looks like RGV is content. A little too many hands being used there by Tommy Mccabe. So RGV will get perhaps the last thrust here before we take a break.
He's been really good, Juan Cousin, in this game, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Just been a handful. Moving a lot without the ball.
And that is it. Never mind your thrusts. We're taking a break. The goal in the second minute of the game by Juan Carlos Azucar has given RGV all they needed in the first half, a 1-0 advantage off of a Juan Cousin assist. Coming up, Devin's Dish, a look around at what's been going on in the USL that you might have missed. You're not going to want to skip out on Devin's Dish. And, of course, we'll take you through the highlights and news from around the USL. All coming up. You're watching USL Championship Soccer with RGV Toros leading Orange County 1-0.
Live soccer is back. Watch Orange County Soccer Club, OC's highest level of professional soccer, live on your view. Watch Orange County SC take on Sacramento Republic FC Saturday, July 24th at 7. Watch world-class players and future stars. Transform your summer with the new family game night and outdoor fun all season long. Live soccer is back. Orange County versus the Sacramento Republic, Saturday, July 24th at 7 on your view.
It's in week 13 of the USL Championship, so we're going to give you 4 games, 8 teams, and it's the dish. Kalen Ryden, the return of Lord Hellman, and the Golden Boot winner from 2019. Just kidding. It's Kalen Ryden, black and yellow. No more Monarchs jerseys, just goals from the center back. Repetto, put this on repeat. 1-1 Charleston Battery, but the 52nd minute is going to be really kind to New Mexico United. Devin Sandoval in the black and yellow. 19th goal overall for New Mexico United. They get the 2-1 victory. West supersedes the East once again. More from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Move, Rowdies. Get out the way. There's a train coming through by the man named Derek Dotson. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, Dotson into the bottom corner. Back-to-back losses for the first time for the Tampa Bay Rowdies since 2019. So look for a little help this weekend. Rubber match versus the Miami FC. I said the. You're right. Louisville, OKC. I don't even really know if I need to say anything because they were that good, which is important because they were that bad last time out. Wes Sharpie, second goal in a Louisville uniform, only his second goal in his professional career. Go figure. We're going to add a couple more goals, a couple more assists. Cameron Lancaster gets in the action. Jonathan Gomez, by the way, who was horrendous against FC Tulsa, is magnificent against OKC Energy FC. Not enough energy. They would grab one at the end of it. 3-1 Louisville, moving on. The final one, the bloodbath. 8 unbeaten for both of these teams coming in. Let's go. Let's go. That's a no-no. See, you can't do that, Grant. Yellow card in the 38th minute. Here's his second yellow in the 60th minute. Take a seat. Take a hike. Take a shower. Do whatever you want, but you can't play with us anymore. Can't sit here. 67th minute. Ball through. Aero Marketing, Aerodynamic. 1-0, Orange County. Watch out. Don't call it a comeback. Watch out. Can they once again rise from the depths? The Phoenix presents itself in the form of Callum Montgomery, the lone E at center back position. Jack Blake. Can't give him the ball. Nope, don't do it twice. Yep. Off a deflection. I'm giving him the assist. Hockey assist, even though we're playing football. Mo Shabani, 76th minute. 2 goals, 3 minutes. 2-1 victory, Orange County. 9 unbeaten. Orange County, done.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
The save from Cardoni, it's there, and Cardoni with a huge save. Beautiful ball through, and that's in. Brilliant. Daniel Bruce with a stunner.
Yearwood now.
Yearwood for New Mexico.
Hey, great friends, it's Scott Kaplan here, and I want you to come check out our new TV show. It's called Kaplan and Crew Tonight, every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock right here. Now, look, it's the best of the radio show from earlier that day on the Mightier 1090, and we've been doing it for 20 years, so now we're expanding the way we talk about sports and the way we can be heard and viewed.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight. Be a part of the crew. Weeknights from 7 to 8 p.m. on Your View.
It's time to get outside and experience the new family game night with Orange County Soccer Club right around the corner at the Great Park in Irvine. World-class pro soccer is back as we battle against the USL's best, like Landon Donovan, San Diego Loyal, Phoenix Rising, and the LA Galaxy. Make memories all season long with our Dollar Beer and Cheap Eats series, firework nights, beer fests, and more. Parking is always free, but the memories are priceless. Get tickets now at orangecountysoccer.com/tickets.
He's going to heave it downfield.
Classic Game Time. The best games from the past season on Your View.
At the half, it is Rio Grande Valley 1-0 over Orange County on a goal in the second minute by Asukar. With Eric Krakauer, Dave Lamont, let's take a look around the United Soccer League Championship and some news and notes. And we listen to this. We've got Monterey Bay FC Union in the USL Championship and Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Now, there's a name for you. I love the logo, man. And they have brought out their crests and colors. Switchbacks forward, Haji Berry, 7 goals in this month, and he is the player of the month. And coming up, big game, New Mexico United and San Antonio, July 21st on ESPN2 at 9:30, and a big win for San Antonio today. But we start with the Pacific Division where Orange County is, and that game of San Diego really sits there like a bad burrito because they could have really separated themselves if they managed that game a little better.
And it could be the same story tonight, the way things are going after 45.
So you see San Antonio picking up 3 points today on the 4th place Switchbacks, an important chance as San Antonio tries to move in to that top 4. What's going on around the league? We told you about that. Indy 11 full-time draw with Memphis 901. The Riverhounds are winners again. Charleston is in charge of Hartford right now, 2-0. Atlanta trailing Lou City. That's a good side, that Lou City side. And Tampa Bay has been struggling a bit. They are a beat-up team. They're down in Miami, and it's Miami FC starting to bounce back after a bit of a bad run.
Great score for Miami, who are trying to inch towards the top of the standings.
Here's your goal. It's Azokar on a perfect feed from Kuzain, and that's where we stand. More of our halftime festivities coming up. Should be highlighted now. Right, we'll roll highlight stats.
Live soccer is back. Watch Orange County Soccer Club, OC's highest level of professional soccer, live on your view. Watch Orange County SC take on Sacramento Republic FC Saturday, July 24th at 7. Watch world-class players and future stars. Transform your summer with the new family game night and outdoor fun all season long. Live soccer is back. Orange County versus the Sacramento Republic, Saturday, July 24th at 7 on your view.
One 0 Rio Grande Valley leading Orange County. We'll take a look at our halftime highlights brought to us by Dayton. And again, I hope you didn't sit down, say 5 minutes after the game started, because Eric, they would have missed this.
If they went for that hot dog 4-pack, they may have missed it indeed. And what a goal it was. An overload on the left side. Really good work from Kuzain on the left, and a perfect cutback for the on-rushing Azokar, who scores in back-to-back games.
Now, OC has been outplayed for the most part. They have had a couple of good opportunities. This was, I think, their best one.
Yeah, Calvillo, who has a window to shoot, takes full advantage of it, and forces a very good save from Derek.
And then this lovely touch from Azokar Sanchez on frame, but right at Rakowski.
And it's too bad we didn't see this play develop a little bit earlier, because there was just so much space for the Toros to exploit, and they almost did.
So the upcoming schedule brought to us by Destination Irvine. And a big matchup on Sunday. We mentioned Austin and Real Monarchs. On Wednesday on ESPN2, New Mexico United and San Antonio trying to play off of a big win today. Friday, we have Red Bulls and Riverhounds. Pittsburgh's been very, very good. Also Friday, Charleston and Charlotte. Colorado Springs and Lou City. That's a great matchup right there outside of their own divisions.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to Charleston and Charlotte going against each other as well. Battle of the Carolinas there.
And Monarchs back at it again on Friday, taking on the Las Vegas Lights FC. That's all coming up on USL Championship Soccer. And what's also coming up is our second half. We talk about upcoming games. Take a moment to look also at upcoming games for OC. Sacramento Republic for them in a week, and then they go to Vegas and Oakland to finish out the month of July. And for RGV, they've got Austin Bold again for the second time in 2 weeks, and then they finish out the month at Phoenix Rising. So the weather conditions ideal as we take one more look at the third goal of the year for Juan Carlos Azocar, the Venezuelan off the Cousin feet. Some numbers from the first half. Eric scoffing at the possession numbers, as well he should. Orange County 55 to 45% advantage there. Only one corner kick, and that was from the Toros. No offsides flags in this opening half. Shots are 5-4 RGV. Shots on target 3-2 for OC. And shooting accuracy 75 to 40% Orange County over Rio Grande Valley, but Rio Grande Valley has the one that matters, and we've had a good look at it. Caution so far. Dre and Smith for Orange County SC in the 7th and 35th minute respectively. We'll also keep an eye on whether Raymond Dre will finish this, start the second half, because he was a bit shaken up, and there was some talk that he might come out of the 34th minute, and we'll find out. We can confirm, and yes, there is going to be a substitution for Orange County, and it does look like Raymond Dre's first start has come to an end 46 minutes in. And also a change coming in. So it's going to be Chris Wehan, number 14, in. And so they've made a Sanchez for Sanchez substitution, has RGV. Vicente Sanchez has come out of the game. John Henry Sanchez is now in, number 17. There's our goal scorer. And here we go. Half number 2 underway. Can Orange County SC rally and avoid a second straight defeat? So again, the substitutions, Chris Wehan, number 14, is in for Raymond Dre. And for RGVFC, it will be John Henry Sanchez replacing Vicente Sanchez. So you are completely caught up. I'm Dave Lamont, partnered with Air Krakauer this evening for this USL Championship match. RGV and the white kids with the blue shorts. And you take a good look there at Patrick Witkowski getting his 8th start of the night. 21 saves on the year, now 9 goals against. His opposite number, who's played every minute so far this year for the Toros, is Tyler Derrick, making his 13th appearance, and he's given up just 13 goals. Oh, a late contact that time as Orozco went for the header and got hit, and a caution, an obvious yellow card, and hopefully Orozco, who took a bit of a hard fall, is not seriously injured.
I think it was Vera who was running through at full pelt.
You're right, Adrian Vera looks like number 18.
Yeah, and he sticks out his elbow, and I'll tell you what, I mean, that is very, very dangerous. It's an intentional swing of the elbow. Whether it's to protect himself or not matters very little, and he may be very, very lucky to remain on the pitch.
I was going to ask you if that might not have been a red card now that we had a good look at it.
Well, just think what would happen if Orozco, if he makes clean contact with Orozco. You're talking about potentially a very serious head injury and laceration.
So Vera gets the yellow card. That's the first one against the visitors tonight. And Orozco happily is back up.
And who is actually playing as a right back now.
This is dangerous. And let's see who's going to get the possession. Yeah, it's going to be a goal kick coming up. Boy, OC handled that one very nicely.
Oh, talk about an emergency tackle there.
Yeah.
And once again, it was Juan Cousin pulling the strings, sliding the ball through into the danger zone. We saw some Swiss cheese defending early in the first half, and, well, Orange County will hope that the same is not true for the beginning of this second stanza.
A beautiful championship soccer stadium in Southern California. Hard to imagine any better weather to play the beautiful game in. As Nathan Smith, who's been trying to get it going, along with Olaski and Mccabe in particular for OC, trying to find the big man, Eero Markkanen, who has not really had a clean look yet.
Really curious decision that Kobe Henry has now moved into the center back position for Orozco.
There's some nifty footwork here by Sanchez, but a little bit too hot to handle.
Burst of speed from the Atlético Nacional youth product.
And of course, OC missing their leading goal scorer, Ronaldo Damas, the Haitian who's playing Gold Cup right now. Quite a few USL Championship level teams impacted by that international event.
That speaks to the growing quality of the league as well, doesn't it, Dave?
Yeah, yeah.
That you have full internationals plying their trade in what is essentially the second division in the United States. With more teams joining the fold soon enough.
It's already the largest league in soccer in the U.S. and getting bigger.
And you get all the outside investment from big-time players in Europe, even in the United States. Of course, Landon Donovan involved with San Diego and the like.
Got a good look there at Kobe Henry, number 23. Some changes made by Braden Cloutier in addition to bringing Chris Weehan into the match to replace Raymond Dre. Moving around his back line a little bit too, perhaps trying to turn Swiss cheese into blue cheese.
Well, bringing on Weehan is not a bad thing to do. He's been a big contributor this season, involved in 6 goals, 3 goals himself, 3 assists. There he is running into the box.
Third game in a week for this OC team. Markkanen tried to drop it off to Weehan, and he'll end up fouling. And talking to Braden Cloutier about this, he says, yeah, it's ice bath, it's managing rest, it's more like after the San Diego game, they really didn't hit the pitch that hard in training. It was a lot of just video, making sure that guys could stay fresh for this match. And he has the ability also to draw on his own experiences as a player as to what worked for him. He can then translate that into what may work for his players. He's not that far removed. Ezekar. Nifty footwork. Trying to cross, maybe trying to shoot. He'll cross. And ambitious again for Kuzain, trying to reverse from the first goal and give it up to the assist man, but that time Kuzain couldn't get a clean look, and it was an easy spot for Rakowski.
Kobe Henry just fell asleep at the wheel there to allow Ezekar to get beyond him to latch onto that long ball.
Maybe an opportunity here now for Orange County. And just simply lost his feet on the pitch, did Richards. Pitch does seem to be in very good shape. Natural grass surface. Been a dry day here. Field was watered, I don't know, about 90 minutes prior to game time, as you would normally do, so nothing out of the ordinary there. Sorto. Marked beautifully.
Well, he basically ran into the defender when he had passing options. You know, I said that he had a very good first half, Christian Sorto, but there were these situations where he fell in love with the ball and just didn't want to share it with anybody else, and that was yet another one of those instances which short circuits the attack for Toros.
Vera.
Look how much space now Cousin has. Nobody putting any pressure on him, just easily moving the ball. Sprayed nicely here by Rodrigo Lopez.
Boy, that's a deadly accurate pass. Landed on the foot. Azokar. You've seen his dribbling ability has been very, very nifty. Azokar on a nice run here. Gets a one-timer back. And that time, a little too much. And it's going to be cleared away by Orange County.
Didn't trust his left foot because he could have shot that. It was a good pass from Sorto, who's responding to my criticism.
He heard you. You have, oh, big tackle. Now we're going to play on. Orange County with an opportunity. Push in the back.
Yep.
Official going right into the pocket. I believe that happened just outside the penalty area. The yellow card will go to Cabezas.
Yeah, there should be really two yellow cards flashed here because there was the initial foul. The advantage was given, and then it's just awkward from Cabezas, the Colombian, right there. He's not trying to foul, but just trips up. That's Calvillo, I believe. And this is a really good spot for a free kick.
It's going to be just outside the 18.
And this could, Dave, become the best opportunity for Orange County in this game. Set piece situation within firing range. You got a couple of really tall players to aim for as well if you want to try and dupe that RGV defense. And there is an image that we are becoming accustomed to with Vera lying down, making sure that the ball does not go underneath the wall if those players jump.
Also gives his mates a good marker as to where to stop. Shot! Right on! And dropped by Derek as he just rejected that one.
Well, that was hit with venom. The second attempt. Derek with a save.
This was tattooed.
And it dips nicely over the wall, just a little bit too central. He would have wanted that one to be closer to that near post. It was Weon who shot that one.
Weon with some fresh legs. He came in as a sub at the half.
And he's added a little bit of a spark to OC's attack. Once again, just a lot of time here for Pimentel to pick out a pass. Too easy once again.
Again, a switch perfectly done by Lopez.
He really does have a very accurate 25-yard pass, doesn't he?
Yes, he's landed that on the foot 2 times now.
Yeah, those are not easy to hit. Excellent once again. He is a very good player. The 22-year-old US-born Malaysian Cousin.
Foul on Mccabe.
Wasn't able to assert himself at Sporting Kansas City, but showcasing all of his ability here today. And out of all the players on the pitch, except for Wehan, who came in, has the most goals. In fact, correction, because Azokar scored his 3rd of the season in this one.
Lopez, well, we've seen how accurate he is, and he gets this one onto the head of one of his mates, but it's going to be handled very easily by Patrick Rukowski, as the header didn't have any snap on it.
I believe it was Cabezas who got his cabeza to
yeah,
it.
I knew you were waiting for that.
I know, it was just there. It was a layup.
Listen, if you didn't say it, I would have, so good for you. And Cabezas with a, hey, I don't want another yellow card, thumbs up. He is not interested in being sent off. He has taken over the captain's armband now that Vicente Sanchez is out of the match. Lays it off, a great layoff. The shot was just too high and too heavy. Markkanen showing his frustration. He thought he might have snuck open, but I don't blame. I think that was Richards who unloads on this one.
Well, the ball, Richards starts to play. He lays it off to win. He has every right to take this one, but I think the ball is slightly behind his standing foot, so he digs underneath it still. I think he could have done a little bit better.
And Richards with the feed.
This is better from OC. That's a dangerous pass, but well handled there by Rodrigo Lopez, who's been one of the standouts in midfield, not only for what he's been able to do with the ball at his feet, but also his positioning has been great, making sure that he blocks those avenues through on goal.
New OCSC merchandise has been released and is available in stadium and online at OCSCshop.com. Be sure to update your wardrobe for this season with all new jerseys, t-shirts, hats, scarves, and sweatshirts. Check out all the new arrivals at OCSCshop.com today. Now this could be dangerous. Can he get there in time? No. And it's going to be a goal kick coming up.
But again, we're 1 hour in and just not enough urgency about Orange County when RGV have the ball. It's a lot of ball watching, sitting in that middle block, hoping that their visitors make a mistake in possession and they can hit in transition. Oh, that looked like a foul inside the box.
It certainly did, but no whistle from the referee, no stoppage at all, and an opportunity goes by the boards for the Toros, and perhaps a counterattack coming here for OC. If not in the box, extraordinarily close to the outside of it, but either way, we play on. Henry.
That's a very good switch. Oh, that's poor. Kobe Henry with an excellent ball.
And I think that was Nathan Smith, 24, who couldn't handle it.
Oh, you mentioned it, that all the travel, all the games maybe are starting to take a toll on Orange County. Talked about how they're being recovered and watching a lot of video to prepare for their games. Just a step slower, maybe two in this one.
Well, whereas RGV should be relatively fresh, Eric, as you compare the schedules. They played on June 30th. That's the night they beat El Paso. Then their next game was July 10th when they drew with Austin. And now here they are a week later.
Yep. And that translates onto the pitch without a doubt.
I mean, yes, they've had to travel out of state and out of their way, but nevertheless, they have appeared to be the fresher side. And so for Braden Cloutier, how much depth does he have with a few injuries, plus his top goal scorer on international duty? So he doesn't have a lot of cards to play with. And he did make some one lineup change in particular that was different, starting Gray. Breakout here. Looking for Weehan, and how about Tyler Derrick aggressively off his line?
That was brave goalkeeping, but what we just saw there goes back to the point I made about 5 minutes ago with Orange County just sitting in that middle block and hoping that RGV make a mistake in possession, and then they pounce in transition, and they did so well and with numbers. The finishing touch was just lacking on the play, but something to alert Senor Cabrera, who's on the bench for the away side.
I thought Henry got a bit handsy, it looked like. Nope, they're going to call the foul on Azucar instead.
Well, he's run himself into the ground, and I think you can tell just the way he's trying to recover his position there, playing a more central role since Vicente Sanchez was pulled off, with John Henry Sanchez, the Colombian, playing on that right side.
Well, Azakar's had his impact on this game in minute number 2. That's the one tally we have had so far, was his 3rd goal of the season.
He is sucking wind now, though.
Undoubtedly, Wilber Cabrera has noticed. We'll see how much longer Azakar has. This is dangerous. Sorto.
That ball was for Sanchez and not for Sorto.
Well, did you not mention he was in love with the ball sometimes?
He is indeed.
Sorto strikes.
Oh.
No, trapped it with the chest. Just couldn't get enough on it to make a clean shot on goal.
I'm not sure that was the intention from Azokar. Obviously, he wants to lay it off for Sorto, but he lifts the ball, maybe trying to give it to number 20 to hit it on the volley, but it was a little bit too high. He does really well to reel it in here. And then right there. No, I think he was actually trying to pull it up for himself. He wanted to go for the acrobatic, spectacular, perhaps. A little selfish there from the player whose goal, as you just said, is the marked difference between these two sides.
But meantime, it's many minutes since we've seen the ball down in this end from the Orange County perspective, and they're going to lose control of it here as a throw-in ruled by the referee's assistant, and it's going to be disputed, but unsuccessfully, by Brent Richards, passionately, but not going to work.
Well, you mentioned that Orange County haven't really threatened that much, but it's been a lot more even this second half, and that will certainly preoccupy Wilmer Cabrera.
But again, Eric, it's still only 1-0.
Yep.
Yeah, Orange County gets a break, and we are level. So RGV has not been able to put Orange County away.
Still haven't seen enough from Brian Olaski in this one. Oh, right idea there from Wian.
Yeah, he was trying to drop it off, it looked like. Well, the USL and ESPN stays in the Mountain Division with a midweek contest on July 21st. That's Wednesday night on ESPN2. Playoff positioning is heating up in the Lone Star State when New Mexico United travels to San Antonio FC. Catch it live at 9:30 Eastern Wednesday, July 21 on ESPN2. This is a rerun of what we saw a lot of in the first half, a lot of forward pressure from the Toros.
A better ball movement. Look at all the space that Olaski has. Nobody picks up ahead and passes it to him. It's not a bad switch, but a better option was on for quite a while.
Kiernan. You may see on the opposite side there by the fourth official, 2 Toros substitutes ready to come in. Cerritos is one of them. Orozco. Markkanen. Just a little heavy. Orozco rescues it. Olaski.
That was the right idea from Olaski. He spotted Smith making that run.
And Orozco trying to chase down to prevent the throw in. That would not have gone his way.
You can tell by his touch that Markkanen has forgotten what the ball feels like, and that's why he has a heavy one. Ooh, don't know if that
Just across the line, apparently, in the eyes of the referee's assistant. So the substitutes will be waved on. Kuzan's going to come out of the game. Kuzain, pardon me, is coming out of the game, but he was effective without question. Cerritos will take his place. Kuzain picked up his first assist of the season tonight.
Yeah, one of the standouts, if not the standout in this game.
And Sorto will check out.
Curious decisions here.
And Quero will come in. And this is Quero's first appearance of the season. Player from Venezuela, San Cristobal. And Cerritos is out of Santa Clara, California, a slight 5'11", 141-pounder, number 24 in the white kits. But he has found the back of the net once this season.
Quero also coming over from Deportivo La Guaira in Venezuela. Actually featured in the Under-20 World Cup in 2017 when Venezuela went all the way to the final, only to lose to England. England, who featured Jadon Sancho, who just signed for Manchester United.
And Orange County is getting set to make a change as well. That's an easy play for Rakowski. I believe we're going to see Miko Kuningas come into the game.
Another former Finn international, under 21 level. He and his compatriot linking up in that goal against San Diego.
Might see Nathan Smith be removed for Kuningas, I should say. You see Miko right there waiting for his opportunity to be waved into the game. No urgency here for RGV necessary. Just don't do anything stupid. They can afford to be patient right here.
Worth mentioning that Alexis Cerritos is playing against his former team.
Yep.
Something to prove here.
Now Adrian Vera. There is Cerritos. Drops it off to Lopez. And again, RGV running the show. It's still only a one-goal game, but it feels bigger than that. Azokar thought he might go ahead and try to rip a righty there, but instead laid it off. Vera. Well, you knew what he was trying to do, he just didn't do it well. Charleston ended up beating Hartford, by the way, 3-1. Louisville 2-0 over Atlanta. Those are all full-timers. Miami did get the win over Tampa Bay. The Rowdies lose 2-1. OKC and a black and gold derby with Tulsa. The Energy up 1-0 in that game. And you are caught up on about everything in USL championship level.
taking absolutely no risks, Pimentel.
And that's going to allow the substitution at long last. If you're so Smith is out. And Kaningas will come in. And Miko with a couple of assists this year and a goal. He is normally in the starting lineup. He's made 11 starts, and there's a chance right there. Oh, he was on the doorstep.
Well, that ball almost fell to him kindly. What an impact substitution that would have been if he was able to lash that one in.
The first corner kick of the night for Orange County will be taken by Olaski. They short corner it. He'll get it back. Bicycle, but it's going to be off the mark.
That would have been spectacular. I believe that was Brent Richards.
It was.
He's had a pretty decent game, but you know what? I look at that corner routine, I can't help but shake my head because you have a pretty decent size advantage in terms of your personnel if you're Orange County. Just put the ball in the box and make those defenders have to defend. Completely overhit by Olaski. Sometimes rudimentary soccer, simple soccer is the most effective. Overcomplicating things, not always the answer.
There's the old expression, don't think you're hurting the team. Got a good look at the beautiful scoreboard here at this sterling little jewel of a park in Irvine, California.
Good place to watch a game, get a tan.
Tell you what, it just looks gorgeous. Olaski here down the left side. Markkanen getting into place, can't get it to him.
A little bit better from Olaski. I think there was a coming together.
Yeah, we're going to have a substitution also for RGV. And you called it, Eric. Asakar, pretty gassed. And looks like he's going to be taken out of the game and replaced by Kyle Edwards. But again, his impact on the game was felt in the second minute, Asakar, when he scored his third goal of the season.
Actually spent some more time on the field of play than I expected, given the way he was gasping for air.
Braden Cloutier there, hoping he can figure something out with limited resources as far as having fresh players. Had to tinker with his lineup. Rod Kuningas off the bench, normally a starter. And Lopez, who was having some cramping issues, so this sort of turned into a mini hydration break while the athletic trainer takes a look at Carter Manley. So no sub yet. There was some talk about something in Markkanen now in a heated discussion with the referee. So Lopez is going to have to wait to be waved on. There was talk of a substitution Edwards for Azocar, but Azocar still out there for RGV for the moment. And keep an eye on the opposite side of the pitch. Markkanen, very well defended by this RGV side. Cerritos.
Oh, that's a penalty.
Yes, it certainly is. We're going right to the spot. There's not even any doubt about it. Kobe Henry with an obvious foul. Cerritos taken down, and a penalty kick is coming up.
Well, he saw Kobe Henry was just backpedaling. He had a couple of options to his right, but Cerritos wants to do it himself. Really good on the dribble. And just a rash challenge, because if anything, he's got him covered. Kobe Henry is closing down the angle. He sticks his foot out, Cerritos. He knows that he's going to make contact. Goes down, and that is just an easy call for the referee.
And you know it's an easy call when no one in orange is complaining.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
a word to the referee about that one.
100%.
So Lopez looks like he's lined up looking for his second goal of the season. And Rakowski, you feel like this is a death blow for OC unless Rakowski can come up with something here, or if Lopez somehow hits it toward the mountains. Interesting backdrop if you're Lopez. No trouble at all. 2-0 for the Toros. Lopez with his second goal of the year.
And Rodrigo Lopez had been one of the best players out there, and he stamps his performance with a well-deserved goal. Calm finish, picks out his corner, goes corner pocket, and with just over 10 minutes left, plus stoppage, this game looks to be well beyond Orange County.
I mean, no margin for error for Lopez. Look how accurate that is.
Right into the corner seam.
So RGV leading 2-0. And if they hang on here, they will be unbeaten in their last 3 games, and 2 of those will be wins. Prior to tonight, they'd only won 1 of their last 5. Admittedly, it was a pretty nice one. It was El Paso, and the Locomotive's only loss of the season so far. But if RGV holds on to this, this is another impressive win for this side.
Well, it propels them to first place provisionally, and that will inspire a lot of confidence for this team.
There's a shot, and it's going to be off the mark.
And Coningas with the strike. And just like Weehan before him, he's brought something off the bench. And curious decision from the coach, from Cloutier, keeping those 2 guys riding the pine, considering how much of an impact they've had in this second half.
There's Kyle Edwards, who we reported would be coming in here soon. Looks like instead of Azocar, it's going to be Cabezas who's going to be checking out of the game, and Edwards will be coming in.
Well, and that just tells you that there's a 2-goal advantage. It's not about protecting that 1-goal lead. You know, the cliche goes that a 2-goal advantage, a 2-0 advantage is the most dangerous advantage. It isn't. A 1-0 advantage is.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad to hear somebody else say that. I've never understood, well, that's the dreaded 2. Same thing in hockey as well. Oh, they got up 2, and then everybody got really nervous. Why?
Well, it is statistically incorrect and also wrong if you use common sense.
Camden Riley has come in for Carter Manley for the Toros. So is there a miracle in there for Orange County? And it would be a miraculous just to get a point out of this now, as the clock is just squeezing them tight, along, of course, with a very solid performance from the Toros defensively.
So Riley becomes that defensive linchpin in the midfield.
Looking for more.
It's the right idea. But just asking a little bit too much from Calvillo, who gives him the thumbs up, but doesn't have legs for that anymore. Been doing a lot of battling in the midfield as Mccabe makes his way off the pitch.
He's been replaced by Mccabe. So Sean Mccabe.
Another 17-year-old thrown into the attack.
Out of Mission Viejo in Cali.
And this is about throwing the sink at Toros. See if you can get something out of it, because if they can score a goal in the next minute or so, which is a big ask given what we've seen, they could make for a nervy end.
And prove us both wrong about that 2-goal edge.
That's right.
We'll get a corner kick out of this. Yeah. To keep you updated, the one game you mentioned, what's at stake here, first place for the Toros. They are watching El Paso right now. No score, no goals, I should say. El Paso and Las Vegas very early in the first half of that match. Well, both these teams, 6 wins, 3 defeats, 3 draws. They both had 18 goals for. OC had a better goal differential. Far post.
And once again, it was Rob Kiernan winning that one in the air.
Chance here for Edwards, and it's poked away. And RGV continuing to threaten and not sit. Oh, I don't know if accidental, I believe. An OC player hit in the face, and that's Markkanen. I don't think that was just by Sanchez. Referee.
Did he hit him with the back of the foot as he's going down? It was completely inadvertent.
Certainly looked that way.
But Markkanen continues to jaw at the referee. Those two won't be going out to dinner anytime soon.
No, Markkanen has canceled their plans. Now, and here's why. He's
the one called for the foul.
He got the foul. No wonder he's mad.
Losing the verdict once again. Edwards, a big boy in the box. Target number 1.
Yep, number 27, you see him there, just outside the 18, making a break for it right now. And he was the intended target, no question.
That was a very good ball as well. There was something I was going to say, Dave, earlier on, is that Rob Kiernan has won so many aerial duels when defending. His head has had its own gravitational pull in this game. And yet any time that Orange County has had a set piece, they've either hit it too short or tried to over-elaborate when they can just hit it towards him.
Well, it is time to get outside and experience the new family game night right around the corner at the Great Park in Irvine. Make memories all season long as we roll out firework nights, beer fest, family game nights, and dollar beer and cheap eats series. Parking's always free, and so are the memories. OrangeCountySoccer.com/tickets, and Kuninga's is going to get put into the book. And you may notice a beautiful deck area up there. Dayton LLC is the exclusive naming rights partner of the Dayton Deck. That's a private premium hospitality area featuring a 20-person club cabana for your closest family and friends at Championship Soccer Stadium. Dayton Deck available is limited, and Olaski is going to get a booking as well. The availability is limited, so be sure to visit OrangeCountySoccer.com/Dayton Deck to book your experience today. So more pressure coming from RGV, and a shot just missed. That was Cerritos.
Well, what a difference he's made in this second half. The 21-year-old El Salvadorian having his way with the defense. A little shimmy and a shake. Yeah, well, it's a stumble that turned into a good move. A twist of the hip, and then just couldn't get enough English on that ball to tuck it away inside that far post. Punishing his former employers today.
Clock working ever against Orange County. They would drop to 2 wins, 2 defeats, and 2 draws at Championship Park. And a second road win for RGVFC Toros. They go to 7-3-3. And first place, well, it depends. El Paso and Las Vegas will have a lot to say about that. Yeah, clear foul there. Markkanen is finished speaking to the referee, and the referee is probably happy about that.
No, he was just spitting venom from his eyes at everybody who was near him.
Well, here's a chance. Can they get it to Markkanen? Use his height on this set piece.
Well, it's either Markkanen, but again, Rob Kiernan is a guy I'm looking to get that ball close to, in and about his vicinity.
It comes out low instead. Wehan launching, and no, it goes in the back of the net, but there's a whistle. There is a whistle, and this one is not going to count. There was a foul in the box while the ball was in the air. No goal.
It was a poor attempt from Wehan on the first delivery. Redeemed himself with that second clip towards the back post, but foul off the ball. Somebody pulling Riley down, I believe. And that is pretty much the last lifeline that is.
That was a beautiful header flicked into the goal by Brent Richards, but to no avail. Braden Cloutier is going to study the tape of that about 25 times tonight.
Well, I don't think he'll want to look at this.
He'll look at that. He'll want to know why that goal was discounted. 3 minutes of extra time.
Overall, the performance lacked energy from Orange County, and only now when they're trailing by 2 goals that they seem to be showing the urgency that was required over an hour ago.
The urgency that RGV came out with immediate.
Strong out of the gates, 100%, no doubt about that. Deserved winner. Nevertheless, a good day out for the supporters in the stands in the warm weather.
Still El Paso and Las Vegas looking for their first goal. Now 19 minutes into that match. The waning seconds of this one, and it's going to go down as a victory for RGV, and what a significant one it is for them to come out on the road. You know, Orange County could be a little bit rubbery-legged in their defense, 3 games in a week. Braden Cloutier having to juggle lineups, but nevertheless, and missing a key scorer. But RGV played a very solid match. Very few clean looks for Orange County today. a clean sheet coming up for Tyler Derrick will be his 4th of the season. And his first since June 12th against Real Monarchs. And for Wilber Cabrera and his staff, he's got a good one over there too. Experienced staff, a very nice victory.
Handball on Edwards.
And there you go, it is official. The Toros of RGV pick up their 2nd road win and win this match 2-0 over Orange County SC, dropping them to 6 wins, 4 defeats, and 3 draws, while it's 7-3-3 for the Toros, and a huge 3 points picked up by RGV. With that El Paso match very much unknown, RGV a big victory to move up in the standings in the Mountain Division. And Eric, I trusted you with our man of the match presented by the Dog Park Brewing Company, and you picked Robert Kiernan.
Yeah, I thought he was very good defensively, especially when challenging for those aerial duels. He won just about everything near him in the air, so he had a pretty solid performance in what was a losing effort from his team. But a guy who's going to give you a good performance week in and week out.
So in first place, Rio Grande Valley has now gone past El Paso Locomotive, pending, of course, tonight's result. Let's take a look at our Sherco save of the match for Patrick Akofsky.
A good play here from Toros, who get the ball out wide, and a good pluck out of the air from the goalkeeper.
There's the professional play to make right there to try to keep things moving by Rakowski. But this night belonged to the visitors. RGV, clearly the dominant side, getting a very early goal, then a late goal on a PK, converted calmly by Rodrigo Lopez. All right, so OC can't go to first.
Hey, great friends, it's Scott Kaplan here, and I want you to come check out our new TV show. It's called Kaplan and Crew Tonight, every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock right here. Now, look, it's the best of the radio show from earlier that day on the Mightier 1090, and we've been doing it for 20 years, so now we're expanding the way we talk about sports and the way we can be heard and viewed.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight. Be a part of the crew. Weeknights from 7 to 8 p.m. on Your View.
So tonight it is the Mountain versus Pacific. Give it to the Mountain. Rio Grande Valley FC comes into Orange County and defeats the home side 2-0 and goes for the moment into first place in the Mountain Division, pending the result of the El Paso tilt against Las Vegas. 2 minutes in, Eric Krakauer, and RGV asserted itself.
Yeah, a sleepy start for Orange County here, and as you mentioned before, Dave, it's the Toros coming in with the pedal to the metal, and it's a lovely finish from Azokar, who had a very good performance tonight, and that finish was something else, I'll tell you. And this is a great shot as well from Orange County, who are having trouble creating any sort of danger close to their opponent's goal mouth, so it would take Calvillo's shot from distance to put Derrick to work.
And one of the few times that you've got a good, clean look, too, for Orange County. Here's the other one.
Yeah, another good save. This time, Derek here denying Weehan with a shot.
Off to the 80th minute we go, and a clear penalty kick opportunity. No question, no arguing, and no trouble for Lopez.
No doubt about it. Really, really good work from Cerritos, taking on Kobe Henry, who makes the rash challenge, and then Rodrigo Lopez, who was outstanding with the easy finish from the spot.
So a very gratifying win for RGV. A back-to-back losses now for Orange County. They will have a chance to get it right against Sacramento next week. For Eric Krakauer and our crew, I'm Dave Lamont. Thank you for watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.